Good morning, around the Diamond family. We are back for another episode. This was a crazy week of baseball. There was a ton of stuff went on, major injuries that came up. We are going to talk about it all. We have a special guest on who we're going to introduce in a second, but we got to start the show as we always do. Baseball Bill, how are you doing on this beautiful Saturday?
I'm doing wonderful. You might have used the word special a little lightly, maybe a little extreme, talking about our
Okay,
guest.
you're just being rude now. You're just being
No,
rude.
you're thinking of it that way. Like I'm thinking like this guy's galactic, Dave. Like this guy is like he's more than
Okay.
famous. He's infamous. He's like the infamous Aguapo, right? He's more than famous.
Infamous or infamous?
No, infamous.
Oh,
Infamous.
okay.
Apparently the guy's never seen Three Amigos, everybody, but he's infamous. That means he's more than famous.
Yeah. I don't think anyone can be more than famous in the Houston area, than the man we have on today. Ladies and gentlemen, we are so pleased to have on Big Dave coming to the Diamond. Big Dave is a super Astros fan. How's that, Bill? Super. A super fan. He's a super fan. He is the host of Can of Corn. He is the co-host of The Odd Couple. And he is a top fan rivalry favorite in the clubhouse. Big Dave, welcome to Around the Diamond. How you doing?
Good morning, Sam. I am pleased to be in the Diamond here with you, Bill. Not so much, but I'm honored to be here. Couldn't be happier. It's a great day in Houston, Texas. The sun is shining and the light is hitting right on our championship trophies. So it's a good day.
All right. Cut. That was a great show, Sam. We're gonna cut after that great intro I gave him. He said
look. Yeah, don't this is coming from the guy that's claiming the Dodgers already won the World Series. So let's just take it down a notch, both of you. We're gonna go back to our respective corners, and we will come out duking in a second. How about
Rangers
that?
Fan Day. According to Harmony, I got it on good authority from Harmony. It's Rangers Fan Day.
All right. Well, for those of you that may not know Big Dave,
is just sit back and let this happen.
For those of you that may not know Big Dave has been a major part of the TopFanRivalry community. But Big Dave and I finally met for the very first time earlier this year in Vegas, and I just wanted to share a little bit of how that conversation went.
I get it.
Fastball.
But yeah.
We got 3 legit. I'm good.
Oh, there's no bitterness here. We cheated. We stole it. We got it. So what?
I'm impressed. I'm impressed that you own it. See, Houston fans need to follow this. This right here, they just need to own it.
It's a badge of honor.
Hey, look, and not only did we cheat y'all, we cheated better than 31 other teams. Because it will come out that everybody did it. But we took it on the chin for the league, okay? But yeah, like I said,
So that's just a little taste of Big Dave, but he is, I think Bill and I can all say, an engaging, just lovable teddy bear. Like one of the nicest guys I think I'll ever.
He is, but I wanna fact check something on Dave here.
Wait a minute. I know where you're going here. And yes, we cheated more than 31 other teams. There were 2 minor league teams involved.
There you go.
There you go. I just wanted to clarify there in case somebody was not. I know there's 30 major league teams. There were a couple of minor league teams involved.
That was filmed in Vegas, and Dave may have been up all night, maybe hitting the craps table or something like that. Next thing you know, he's going to be saying, hey, it was great, but there was 47 teams that we beat. And, you never know.
Hey, it's the Astros versus the world, okay? Yes, we cheated. Big deal. Get over it. See all this back here? All right. Ric Flair won the heavyweight title 18 times. He cheated 16 of them. You still call him champ, right? All right, so get over it, all right?
Hey.
It is what it is. That's called rent-free space.
Gotta respect the man. That's right now.
That's right. Often
The
imitated,
wheeling
never
and
duplicated.
dealing,
The man of the
high
hour, the man
profiling,
with the power, too
and
sweet to be sour.
yet plain flying. Man
This
that looks like
feeling.
he's about to fall over Flair.
Hey, we're not talking about now Flair. All right, we're talking about classic Flair.
That's
all
fair.
right.
That's
all right?
fair.
When you, to be the man, you got to beat the man. And when
man.
you want to beat the man, you walk that aisle and you come see Big Dave.
That's right. That's right. So, Dave, let's get this started. We want to intro you to the fan base. Tell us a little bit about how you got involved in Top Fan Rivalry. Tell us a little bit about the shows that you put on, and just a little bit about yourself as an Astros fan.
So I was just minding my business, doing what Houstonians do here. It's all Houston everything. I bleed Astros orange. And I happened upon I was actually introduced to Bill from a mutual friend. And as they say, the rest is history. I mean, it's just kind of like when you put the chocolate in the peanut butter or the peanut butter in the chocolate. No matter which way you get to it, it's a delicious ending, and that's kind of what happened here. It kind of melded, and it presented itself. Bill, I'm so blessed to be a part of the Top Fan Rivalry family, as we call it. It's sports talk, fan involved, for the fans, by the fans. So I mean that sounds like it's right up my alley. And I noticed that the Astros numbers weren't being represented just quite at the right levels that it needed to be. So I knew that they needed a cleanup hitter to come in here. So I had to come in and fill in the heavyweight rankings here at Top Fan.
If there was anyone we wanted to call, I would say it was you. I don't know what Bill thinks. I mean, Bill probably has a different person in mind in the clubhouse.
No, Dave
Look,
means no owner.
all I'm
no
saying
owner
is Amber with Top Fan Rivalry loves me, so that's all that really matters.
Well, Dave needs no owner. Hey, Sam, in the leagues, I don't know. Dave will hear something or feel like there's been some shade thrown, or somebody's recruiting somebody to the other softball team, and so Dave will jump in, and Stephanie will be recruiting somebody on the softball team, and then boom, Dave, sends a request. It's great.
Okay. All right. Bill, look, you full disclosure here, Bill. All right, tell the whole story. We've got a softball tournament coming up. And while I was mild-mannered working at my, my secret identity, they're over there pulling deals for ringers, softball level stars. And so, yeah, it's not that, I feel like I've been discredited or anything, but my Houston Spidey sense goes off, and I feel that Bill's slighted me, and I have to just go up there and take up for myself.
Well, I will tell you, Dave, yesterday I was sitting at lunch, and Megan and I were on a group text with somebody, and we received a message from somebody. I'll tell you off air that they're booking their flights from another part of the country just to come play in the softball tournament. And it's somebody that you may have recruited. So, I mean, it works out pretty well for you.
Hey, look, when more details come out about the softball tournament, you got to get there. You don't want to miss it. I will not go as far as guaranteeing a victory, but I guarantee I will not be on the losing team. So take that.
Throw the mic down on it.
He may trade himself in the middle of the game, Sam. You watch.
You never know. You never know. I may retire.
That's how he's not going to be on the losing team. He's going to have a jersey that's that just flip-flops inside out. All of a sudden it's blue. Then if the red team is doing better, he's just going to go behind the dugout, flip it over, be the red team, come back, get on the bench. Let's go, boys. Let's go.
Look, trades are a possibility, and even in-game trades, in-inning trades, in-at-bat trades may go down. That's all I'm saying. If you're on my team, you play to win. We're on the forefront of trends here, and so never say never. Jackie Moon don't have nothing on me. I'm the player, the coach, the GM, I throw peanuts in the stands. Like, I'm doing it all this game. Okay. The clown prince of softball is showing up. You do not want to miss this.
Love it. I love it. So, Dave, you host two shows on through Top Fan Rivalry, Can of Corn and The Odd Couple. So, tell us a little bit about the shows. About those shows. What did you talk about? What's the the premise? Give us a little insight.
Yes. No, thank you. Can of Corn. It's basically your weekly suggested serving of baseball knowledge. Okay. You've got myself, like I said, I'm a lifelong Astros fan. I bleed orange. And we've got Bill, who supports that team there, North Tijuana, the Trolley Dodgers, whatever. But anyway, we do not just stick to Dodgers and Astros. Of course, I'm gonna cover, latest news or whatever with the Astros. Bill will chime in on how good his $1 billion team is. And how prorated they are for the next.
That's $1 billion team, Dave deferred.
Dave, why did we wait so long to get you on here? I've needed your backup for weeks.
Hey, all I'm saying is you can't spell parlay without LA. Okay. Otani says bet the over. So I'm all for it. But no, getting back to the show, the Odd Couple, we cover all teams. We'll cover a couple of topics each week, and we'll always end the show with the off the record segment, which is those things that just kind of make you say, you know what I mean? You remember that? You remember that?
You're looking at something, and all of a sudden
it's a great place to come. And
you're looking at something, all of a sudden you're just like, huh? Your head turns to the left, and you're just like, what?
I'll give you. Can I give you
it's something that kind of gets in.
Let me give you an example, Sam, of off the record. Okay. Things like Dave and I were talking about a guy signing that's 0-3 after the first 2 months of the season with a 10.40 ERA and collecting $32 million. How lovely that is and how that's the American dream. We won't mention a name on that one, but we do talk about that a little bit. Dave, we've brought that up a little bit on Can of Corn, haven't we?
Yes, we did, but we also did bring up that certain person might just pitch somebody into the NLDS this year because the Giants are hot right now, and it could be a smoke show.
Wait, hold on, wait. What was that? What was that? What was that? Bill, did you have to admit it? Did you have to bite your tongue and actually be like, you know what, you might be right on this?
No, he said it, not me. I still think the Giants are going to finish in third place.
Yeah, no, it's okay. We
know. We know the team.
We all know where the wisdom sits.
We also know that the most dangerous team is the team you least expect.
So I can't wait till we get to the standings because Dave, you're going to be surprised at what I have to say. Sam, I'm going to do the AL this week. I'll do the AL this week. Yep.
Fair enough. I'm glad you talked about it. So Dave, the Astros have had quite an interesting start to their season. I think all three of us can agree to that. It's not the Astros we expected. It's not the Astros I think anyone on the planet would have thought you were going to get. But, looking at where the Astros currently sit, we're looking at a 25-33 record. They're 4-6 in their last 10. They are just about 500 when playing at home. Give me some insight into what you're seeing with the Astros right now. Are they starting to turn a corner? Is there still a lot of work to be done? What is your feeling on where they sit currently?
Okay, so first of all, if you'd have told me that at June 1st, we would have had the absolute worst first month in our history, and we'd still be 6.5 games out of first place, I'd have told you to bet the under. And Otani proves it. But I do think we've turned the page a little bit. And it's to blame the other teams in the division. The AL West did not take advantage of the Astros' demise to start the season. They did not put any distance between themselves. I called it before the season that the Astros would win the division with about 85 to 90 games. That's still on par, and that the the South Oklahoma Rangers would miss the playoffs, the defending champs. And they're taking care of their part of the bet. And the Astros need to too. The problem that we're having right now is we're smack on the backside of 29 games in 30 days. And before we went on this trip, I was talking to Bill about it, and I told him that this is going to be a key to our season, because if we sat there and kept losing games to teams that we shouldn't be losing to, we would find ourselves quickly 10 or more games out. That has not been the case. We started off this little stint. I think we went 7-3 in the first 10. And I'll take it. Here recently, we've cooled off a bit. The offense has found its struggles. Not without the help of King Kyle Tucker. Everybody needs to bend the knee and respect the greatness that is King Tuck. He's trying to get a contract. We've got one more year of control over him, and then he'll be a free agent. So, Mr. Crane, this Big Dave here, Jim Crane, owner of the Astros, pay Tuck. Okay, that's all I'm saying. Last night, though, the Astros dropped the game. It was the first loss with our new phenom, Ronel Blanco, on the mound, who did an okay job. He gave up 4 home runs, which is the most he has all season. But the problem I saw last night is what we've done 8 out of the last 9 games, and we scored in 1 inning. All of our runs were scored in 1 inning in 8 of our last 9 games, and it's hard to win games like that. That being said, we started off the season playing the hardest schedule in Major League Baseball. The Yankees and the defending champs and the Braves, and so schedule wise, we took it on the chin. We've gotten to a portion of the schedule now where there are teams that on paper we should beat. We've had a lot of injuries. Our pitching staff to be one. At one time, the IL of our pitching staff could be an all-star lineup for pitchers. Altuve's having a great year. As I mentioned before, Kyle Tucker is having a phenomenal year. Jeremy Pena is absolutely jacked this season, looking like the 2022 MVP. But I mean, it's a long season, and like I said, I think that the AL West missed an opportunity to put some space in between the Astros and put them to rest. And you've poked the bear, and now the bear's awake, and we're eating. So, all I could say is you tell them we're coming, and we're bringing hell with us.
Okay,
You
so
gotta respect him, man. Gotta respect him.
yeah, so wait a second, Dave. As you were speaking, I was getting a message, in my earpiece from the TopFanRivalry desk, and the message was that Jim Crane was on the phone. He wanted to speak to me, and I sent them a quick text back and said, "Send him to my voicemail. I'll speak with him on Monday." I'm busy with the biggest Astro fan there is, the guy who should be running the club, Big Dave. And so,
Bill sends everyone to voicemail.
Yeah.
Everyone goes to voicemail.
No, we know this. It's okay. I'm gonna jump in the helicopter later and go have lunch with Jim. So no worries. Don't
Tell him
worry
I
about
said hi.
that.
TFR helicopter you're taking?
No, this is on his dime. This is
Okay.
his gas. So this is the Astros. Yeah, they're coming by to pick me up.
There you
I'm
go.
still waiting.
It's a hard life, but
I'm still
somebody's
waiting
gotta
on
do it.
that payment from him. So just let him know when you talk to him that Sam's waiting on the payment.
There you go.
I'll mention it. I'll drop it.
All right. So, Dave, what are the keys to the Astros success this season? What is going to be the keys to the Astros success?
Winning baseball, there's no mystery formula. You got to play consistent ball. The days where pitchers are going 7, 8, 9 innings, complete games are few and far between. Definitely getting the most you can out of your starter. But it's things like situational for me. The other night we were playing the Mariners. It was tied in the bottom of the 9th, and we started off with a leadoff double. And for some reason, the next 2 batters did not bunt. Like, I don't get it. I get it. Everybody loves the long ball. Everybody wants to be on Sports Center, but dropping a bunt down there, moving the run over, manufacturing runs is what you got to do. We failed to do it. The Mariners come up in the top of the 10th, bang, boom. With the ghost runner, I've already spoken my thoughts on that travesty. But they did exactly what we didn't. Single to the first base side, move the run over, pop fly, game over, we lose. So that being said, I did mention our health has been an issue. We are getting our pitching staff back to full health. Jose Urquidy had a bit of a setback, but it turned out to be negative, so he'll be getting back. Yesterday, Luis Garcia threw real work yesterday. So Ronel Blanco has been the highlight of our season so far, with or without Sticky Rosin. Save it, don't at me. The man served his suspension. He came back. He still pitched lights out. JV is JV. So we need Alex Bregman. Has anybody seen Alex Bregman? Guys, check your cereal. When you're eating your cereal this morning, check your milk carton. If you've seen Alex Bregman, please return him to Minute Maid Park. I know he went yard last night, but this is not the Breggy that we're used to. So I think that the Astros will be okay. It's not time to push the panic button. We do, however, play in the AL West. So with the other teams not taking advantage, 85 games could win this division. So I don't know. I'm forever an optimist here in Houston. The glass is always half full. So just got to play good baseball, man. You got to play smart baseball. You can't give up big innings. Big innings have killed us all year. So it's a combination. Like I said, there's no secret formula. You got to get good pitching. You got to score runs. And the Astros haven't been consistently doing that this year. So here's to that.
I like it.
Yeah, I think one of the things that has shocked me is just the consistency play with the Astros. The one thing that you can tell about the Astros over the last 5 years, obviously not this year, but the last 5 years, was their consistency of play throughout the beginning half of the season. They may have struggled here and there, but they always typically found their stride early. And it seems like they're just starting to find it later. My last question to you, Dave, do you think the reason why this stride is starting a little bit later than it typically has is just in relation to the age of the team currently? Because if you look at it, a lot of the team is, on the higher end of their career, not the newest end. So what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, no, definitely. We could be witnessing the last ride of the dynasty. And for the Astros haters out there, don't add me, okay? 8 straight trips to the ALCS. That's dynasty level. We're talking nowhere near. And I'm not trying to compare ourselves with you guys that have won multiple championships. Okay, I get it. We've got our 2. We're happy with it. At least both of ours were in a full-length season. There are no Mickey Mouse titles over here. But yeah, we're a bit long in the tooth. I think that's getting shown. I also think there's something that said Mike Tyson once said that everybody's got a plan to get punched in the mouth. And the Astros being a juggernaut for the better part of a decade, when you start off stumbling, there's something for confidence. Baseball is real streaky, and when your confidence gets rocked, you start off by getting swept. I mean, it's just funny, it gets like that sometimes, because consequently, when we've played good, I've seen the snowball effect of that. You get Swaggy Bregman back doing the Vince McMahon walk, and so consistency definitely is the key. I think we've got the baseball IQ, we've got the pedigree, we've got the players needed here. We've got a mix of veteran leadership, starting with Jose Altuve. He is our savior here. He will retire as the greatest Astro ever.
He's
Definitely
the
should
he's
be
the
a
Derek
first ballot Hall
Jeter
of
to
Famer.
the Houston Astros.
Yeah, no disrespect to Craig Biggio and my favorite all-time Astro, Jeff Bagwell, but I think when it's all said and done, the numbers will support Jose Altuve being the greatest Astro ever. But we've got young guys. We've got our new catcher, Yonder Diaz. We picked up Victor Carantini, who has been a tremendous backup there at the position. We've got our issues with first base. We've got an $18 million problem called Jose Abreu that we're going to have to deal with here soon. I think we're going to have to eat it, and he's probably going to be designated sometime before the All-Star break. I just don't see it happening. Kudos to the guy, a big leaguer, willing to go down to the minors to find his swing. I don't think he found it. He also had a bonehead play at first base the other day. So, it is what it is. We've got key players here. But yeah, all good things must come to an end. And unfortunately, the Astros are a little long in the tooth, like I said, and eventually Gandalf the Gray, succumb.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I just got it on good authority, Dave, that the Houston Astros are going to be buying a new glove and signing Jorge Lopez to their pitching staff, but they're going to buy him a new glove first.
the guy from the Mets who threw his glove over the
Yeah.
Dave, I know the feeling though, not to dive too much into it, but I know that feeling, especially when you look at what the Giants did from 2010 to 2015, 2016, how they had their major run of World Series. And so I know exactly what you're talking about. The Dodgers were winning the divisions those years, and we still won World Series. So, I get it. It's a shame. But all good things, while good things come to an end, new good things are to come. As Bill likes
I don't
to say.
think there are any I don't think there are any fans in Houston that would trade it for the world. Unfortunately, we've got a lot of youngsters that, have become fans since 2017. Like my grandson's having a real problem with the Astros being sucky, as he says right now, because he's not used to it. He hadn't sat through 100 lost seasons in the Astrodome like I have. So, it's fine. Maybe it'll weed out a couple of the fair weather fans.
Maybe. Well, we are going to, we love talking to you about this stuff. We got to get back to what other baseball we've got going on. So let's talk about some of the standings. Bill was adamant today that he wanted these AL standings. So Bill, take us through it.
I can't see the AL standings.
You can't see the AL standings. Let me get it fixed.
25 of the 30
Bill, I have
teams
my
have won at least
here.
one World Series.
I have my
It should have
standings
been
in
there.
front of me.
Technical difficulties always get you, though. There's only so much you can do about technical difficulties. What can I say? I do.
Sam, don't let Bill blame
you
you for that. I call that Bill not being prepared. Bill, I've got my own standings right here.
Oh,
when you're going to be,
I'm on Astros.com, but I want everybody else to be able to see the standings.
How about now? Can you see the standings now?
Yes, I can see the standings now. Okay,
Great.
in the East, the Bronx Bombers are starting to get some separation. They are 7-3. They've had a West Coast road trip. They played the Giants. I'm glad that they're beating up on the Giants. They played the Padres. I was glad that they took 2 out of 3 over there. They play the Angels, which whatever. It's the Angels. Orioles have not gone. Have not gone away. Then you've got the Red Sox involved there. Rays and Blue Jays might have seen better days. The Guardians are still holding on, but don't sleep on the Royals. The Guardians have actually are 8-2 in the last 10. The Royals are 5-5, but the Twins are also kicking it up. The Twins had a very good game yesterday against the third place Astros, but we'll get to that in a second. Don't sleep on the Tigers. They're still around. The Mariners, and Dave said it perfectly, the Mariners and the Rangers have not taken advantage of the fact that the Astros have had a slow start. The Angels better luck next year. The A's are just there. Now, here's the prediction. I had said this at the beginning of the year that I thought maybe the Rangers would win the division. I am taking that back. I have opened up my Grays Sports Almanac. and I've read it a little bit more clearly. And I'm here to tell you that the Astros are going to win that division. I know that they're 6.5 out right now, but the Astros have a very good team and they know how to win. It would shock me if in June, it would shock me if in June they weren't at least 500 or better and only 3 games out of first place. So do not sleep on the Astros. Sam, what are your thoughts about this division?
So yeah, we are on the home stand right now against Arson Judge. I mean Aaron Judge and the New York Yankees. Took one against us last night, but we let Arson Judge know how his current fandom feels in San Francisco. Probably won't be welcomed back there for a minute. But don't sleep on the Orioles. I still think this is the Orioles division. While the Yankees have been on a roll, I see that slowing down, and I can see the Orioles just start picking it up. Moving over to the Central, I'm going to take back what I said at the beginning of the year, that the winner of this division is going to have below a 500 record, because that's just not going to be possible anymore.
No.
However, I do still think this is the Royals division to win, similar to the Orioles. Guardians are on fire, but I see the Royals just picking it up. They have been playing stellar baseball. And then going over to the West,
if I may.
Yeah.
Well, while we're in the Central here, let's talk about the 800-pound gorilla in the room. And I bet the over that the White Sox would lose 130 games this year. And you know what? We're on par. I'm just saying.
Do it.
If you're gonna be the worst, all I'm saying is if you're gonna be the worst,
be the best worst team in baseball.
That's right. Go for 130. Okay, that would be second all time and the first since before 1900. So, come on, White Sox, you can do it.
Moving over to the West, I said it last week. Bill, you reiterated it today. The Mariners, the Rangers, and I'll even stretch this to say the A's did not do enough to put their foot on the neck of the Astros and take the air out of their lungs at the beginning of the season. They are letting them back in. They are leaving it wide open. I am not going to come out and change my pick on the West. One, because I can't remember exactly who I picked on the West. I'm going to have you go. I'm going to actually have to go back through the rivalry, through the predictions podcast to figure out who I picked.
Good.
But I am not going to say the Astros are going to win this division. What I will say, though, is that the Astros, I think, have the best shot at making a wild card spot at this point. But I don't think they're going to win the division. I just don't. I think the Mariners are younger. I think the Rangers, not as old as the Astros, but up there, are still there. But yeah, I don't see this year being the Astros year to be ALDS West champs. AL West champs. I just don't.
Dave, what do you think?
So first of all, I just want to I appreciate all the love for the Astros that
I'm giving you the playoffs. I'm giving you the playoffs.
I love it. No, Bill actually had nice things to say, and I'm a little verklempt over here. But anyway, no. So here's the deal. The Mariners have been a few pieces away for the last couple of years. They have dynamic pitching right now. Their guys are lights out. They came in here and shut down. Well, actually, we went up there to Seattle and got absolutely shut down. Our bats were rolling when we came in. We were 3.5 behind. I mean, we could have walked out of a 4-game stretch with a half-game lead. We didn't do that. We didn't get swept, thank God, and we still ended the month of May above 500. So, that being said, like I mentioned before, we've had a lot of difficulties to start the season, and I think the cogs are just about to line up. So, while I appreciate you giving us the wild card, Sam, I got a feeling that the only way out of the playoffs, out of the West, is to win the division.
Oh, I agree with you.
You know,
I just don't. I think this year we will have one winner from each division, and one team in each division being the wild card. I just don't see I see the Astros making it past the wild card round.
no,
I just don't see them winning the division. That's all.
yeah, it's a long season too. I mean, the Orioles are just finding out right now that that injuries are going to prove to you know be a battle to take care of. And as long as we can stay healthy, I don't fear that the Astros. You know, we got to play a lot of games still left against the Angels and A's. Those are wins that you should be chalking up. Um, you know, when we go through some of the softer teams in the NL, those are wins you should be chalking up. So
we'll see what happens. We'll play
don't
it by
sleep.
ear.
All I can say is nobody wants to see those guys in orange, and nobody wants to go to Houston in the playoffs. That's all I'm saying.
That's fair. I'm taking the National League this week. Looking over at the East, the Phillies are still doing what the Phillies have been doing. They are the best team in the National League. 40 wins, 18 losses, 6-4 in their last 10. I am not as optimistic about the Braves moving forward, just because of the Acuna injury. I think that's going to play a bigger role on them than people are thinking. Even though he has been playing well this season, it's still going to be an impactful loss. Moving over to the Central, the Cardinals have all of a sudden felt some sort of energy resurgence because they went from 4th to 2nd in a week. Don't know what happened there, but the Brewers are still leading that division. It might be time to start sleeping on the Pirates, but as Dave said, still a long season. Let's see what happens. Moving over to the West, the 2023 the division champs, the Dodgers, are still in first place. The Padres, though, are picking it up, 2 games above 500. Giants are right there and biting at the teeth to reclaim that number 2 spot. The Diamondbacks, I don't know what's happening there, and see you next year, Rockies. It's not looking comfortable for you. Dave and Bill, real quick, 30 seconds. What are you seeing in these standings?
Go ahead, Dave.
Look, all I wanted is make sure you witness the greatness that is Paul Skeens right now. You know, while the Pirates may be going in and going down in the standings, this kid is lights out.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I like watching young baseball. It's the future of the sport. Him and guys like Ellie De La Cruz, definitely exciting to watch. Anybody that has the chance of getting an inside the park homer at every at, you got to love that. So, yeah, the Rockies, not so much. The Giants, kudos to your team there, Sam. You guys have been on a nice run there. And the Cardinals, 7 wins out of the last 10, like you said, jumped them up in the standings real quick. But you know what? I still got a little disdain from our old days in the National League. So the Cardinals are going to eventually. They're going to get their wings clipped. I think it's the Brewers division to take. And the Phillies are hot, man. Phils are hot. The Braves, another devastating injury to their team, that seems to be the theme of the year for them this year. So it's going to be fun to watch, man.
Yep. Bill?
I had said at the beginning of the season, if the Braves have 2 major injuries, they will not win the division. They lost Spencer Stash Strider early, and now they lost Ronald Acuna. Combined with the Phillies playing lights out. So the Central is kind of your juggernaut, and I'll talk about that in a second. The 2024 world champion Los Angeles Dodgers, and as Sam said, the 2023
every freaking
division
time, every freaking winners. Time he says the same thing.
And so yes, now if you ask me how this is going to play out, and I was Bill O'Damas, Phillies are going to win the division. Cubs are going to win that division. Dodgers are going to win their division. Your wild card teams are going to be the Braves. The wild card team is going to be the Cardinals, and the other wild card team is going to be the Mets. The Mets have a really, really good dynamic. Right now, they're starting to put some pieces together. They've won 2 in a row. They're going to start winning series. You watch this.
When their
And they're
own
giving away.
players say they are on the worst team in baseball, I find it very hard to believe that the Mets are going to be making the wild card. But we
That's
shall see
fun.
what happens.
I do
That's
like their
fun.
new promotional idea. You know, the Mets giving gloves to fans. That's great. I mean, I love to
Yeah.
see that for the game.
They can catch all the foul balls that the Mets players are hitting and not home runs.
That's fine.
Yeah,
But
I
when
mean-
you look at the Mets lineup, even with Pete, I can't find the jersey that fits me correctly, Alonso, being out for a little bit. You look at that Mets lineup, they've got a really, really, really good lineup.
We also are talking about a team that's also looking to possibly trade a number of their pieces because
Of course, but I still think they've got a shot for a wild card. I'm going crazy.
I would not be opposed to seeing Alonso in a Houston jersey. That's all I'm saying.
I would not be opposed to seeing Alonso in a Giants jersey. We will see what happens over the next month because the trade deadline is coming up. We will be talking about that next week. And Big Dave, maybe before the trade deadline happens, you'll be kind enough to grace us with your presence and we can talk about it again.
Just so that you know, I got it on good authority. Alonso is going to be a Dodger. We're going to sign him for 12 years and defer all of it. So
wow.
just so that you know,
what are you going to do with Freddie Freeman? I'm very curious.
No. Alonso's going to play. Alonso's going to play.
Oh, he's going to play behind Freddie Freeman, or is he going to be?
He's going to play either left bench. He's going to play either left field or left bench, one or the other. We haven't decided yet. But
why don't you just put him in the parking lot then? At that point,
we're working a deal to get Alonso and Aaron Judge, and both of those guys will defer their money because Dave loves that stuff.
Yeah, we know. Taking a quick look at these standings or the stat leaders, Luis Arraez is killing it from a standing perspective. The man has had multiple has had like a multi-game hit streak last like 5 games. Like this guy is just killing it when it comes to just getting the ball in play. And then Jose Ramirez, apparently the next Barry Bonds, got 57 RBIs. I found it to be a little ridiculous. He even had the gall to come out and try to compare himself to
somebody that uses steroids,
to the asterisk greatest hitter of all time. Bill, looking at the pitching stats real quick, anything shocking you here?
Chris Sale and Seth Lugo both have revitalized their careers. They're pitching very, very well. From the perspective of the strikeout, Dylan Cease, I expected to be there. Tyler Glasnow, that surprises me a little bit. I'm absolutely at shock, if you can tell in my voice. I mean, there are a number of there's no Astros on this list, but they're coming back. Dave, thoughts on the stats?
Hold on. I can't see him through all the shade that's being thrown right now. It's all good. Ranger Suarez has been absolutely phenomenal this season.
Did he just get his first loss, by the way?
Yes.
Finally. But yeah, no, looking at the leaders, of course, there should be more Houston representation. However, we've got a whole lot of baseball to still play. So I'll go on and screenshot this and we'll come back to it and revisit it later to see if we can make any moves on this here.
Sounds good. Now
Juan Soto is no longer 21. So I've heard Joe Buck just called me and said Juan Soto's not 21 anymore.
Well, Joe Buck can go
easy. Okay.
I'm not even gonna entertain Joe Buck. Let's just keep it that way. Let's just not even entertain him. Looking at the stolen base count real quick, up another 140 stolen bases. Ellie De La Cruz is still controlling a dominant lead in the stolen base count. 32 stolen bases since the start of the season. I don't think there's going to be a single soul that catches him unless all of a sudden he breaks his leg and is done. I actually had to take Ronald Acuna off of this list considering he was tied for 5th, but he's out for the season. So Bobby Witt Jr., you're the next man up. Going over to the home run leaderboard, though, we got a new home run captain, the captain now of New York, Aaron Judge. 4 home runs in this last week. And, man, he does not look to be stopping. He hit 2 last night. against the Giants. I mean, he has just figured out his swing that he was missing in the beginning of the season. Anything on the stolen base count or the home run count, either of you guys? Dave, Bill?
Look, like I mentioned earlier, Ellie De La Cruz is electric. I think he's on pace to be the first player since the beloved Ricky Henderson to steal 90 bags this year. It'd be exciting to watch that. Nobody moved around the bases like Ricky, but this kid can absolutely fly. So it's going to be fun to see what he can do. As far as the home run leader, can we put some respect on the greatness that is Kyle Tucker, who had the lead up until Aaron Judge decided to drink a little of Michael Jordan's secret water?
He was tied with Gunnar Henderson. Get that right.
Well, okay, yeah, but Gunnar Henderson, like I said, 2 days ago, Kyle Tucker led this. All I'm saying, we got to put some respect on the greatness that is King Tucker. Bend the knee, bow the head, and give the man his flowers.
Fair enough. Bill?
So I had predicted when Aaron Judge had 13 home runs, you and I had talked about this 2 weeks ago. I had said he'll be at 32 home runs or better by the All-Star break. I'm looking like a genius here. Kyle Tucker is doing amazing things. He's one of the reasons why Houston is only 6.5 out and not 8.5 or 9 out. Dave, I think you would agree with me on that one.
No lies.
I mean, he's having a great season. When we're talking about stolen base and home runs, Bobby Witt Jr. is going to be a 30-30 guy this year. He's got 9 home runs right now, but he will be a 30-30 guy this season, guys. And guess what? Nobody's talking about it because he's where he plays. Nobody's talking about it. For some reason, they're looking over this guy. And this guy is going to get 175 hits a season and be a 30-30 guy, but nobody's talking about it. Just saying.
Nobody outside of the Midwest.
Gotta get out of Kansas City.
Nobody outside of the Midwest.
That's true. Couple of injuries, as we touched upon. Ronald Acuna out for the season with a knee injury. Really devastating blow for Atlanta. Couple of other injuries. Kodai Senga out until the middle of July. Sam Haggerty out for the season. Garrett Whitlock for Boston out for the season, which is a loss. But I think the biggest loss from this last week was the double loss that Baltimore faced in Tyler Wells and John Means. Bill, how is that how are those two losses going to impact the Orioles as they continue to make a run for that AL East Division title?
If I were the Orioles, I would take it game by game, and I would not worry about scoreboard watching just yet. If I were ownership, I would be looking at it and saying, who can we replace these guys with? Because guess what? Boston is really good. Even though Boston is 500 right now, Boston is really good. And if you're not careful, Orioles, you'll miss the playoffs by a game or two because Boston will get a wild card. So, and I just want to shout out Sam for making this injury report. Prior to this, he tried to put up 14 Dodgers that he thought were out for the year.
That is an egregious and outlandish accusation.
Well,
I had one Dodger.
It's been heard on the internet,
and
so it's got to be true.
Blame our provider of the injury report.
Yeah,
who gives us
but it was heard on the internet, so it's got to be true. Dave and I have agreed. If you've heard it on the internet, it's got to be true.
Got to be. However, I did see the notes before there that did say it was just recently noted that the pitcher was out for the season. So Sam,
I got Thank you. Thank you for thank you for shining some light on the shade that Bill is just straight up throwing.
Oh, it's so much. I should have brought sunglasses. I didn't know. Next time.
I feel like we both should have brought sunglasses to this conversation. Next week we're going to talk about the trade deadline because it is rapidly approaching. Dave, are you open to coming back and talking some trade deadline talks with us in about 4 weeks?
It would be an absolute honor. I would love to come.
Awesome, because I know we would love to get your perspective on it. But as we love having Dave come on, and we will bring Dave back, and I will be jumping on Dave and Bill's shows in the next couple of weeks, Can of Corn and The Odd Couple. So make sure you are tuning in on TopFanRivalry.com for those. Bill, you have put together, once again, an exceptional podcast and in the league's schedule for us. Why don't you take us through it?
Okay, so the podcast schedule, Breezy's on. She's an Angels fan. She's a lifelong Angels fan. Great interview. Cammie is back on. Cammie is a school teacher in the Houston area. I've interviewed her and her son. This will be her second or third time, I think, on the podcast. She's an Astro fan. Soraya is an Astro fan. She, I believe, is a season ticket holder. Dave knows her. And so she's a fantastic person. And then Kenna, who lives on the East Coast, grew up an Astro fan because her dad grew up in Houston. And we had her boyfriend on for the first time, Aiden. And boy, they duked it out a little bit. And Kenna threw some jabs, and Aiden took them and threw some jabs back. That's going to be a lot of fun. He's an Orioles fan. And then we're going to wrap it up with Paul, who is a Phillies fan. Now, Sam, before you say, normally, Dave, Sam would say, you're giving a lot of love to Houston. Notice how he's not saying that because you're on the show today. Just want to get that on record.
Oh no, I was gonna say it when you finished, but thank you for calling it
If
out.
he
And
wasn't-
you're giving a lot of love to the Astros fans. It's because they're on a roll to come back in that division.
It's America's team, guys. I mean, come
Whoa.
on. Everybody
Whoa.
wants to talk
Okay,
about the
let's
Astros.
okay. Look, Dave, I will defend you till I'm blue in the face, but we are not going to start getting into the conversation about America's teams here. Because if we had to go
Love it.
sport by sport, I'm sure all three of us would disagree on every team that they're calling America's team in their respective sport.
America's
They're all
team
out of
is the
Houston.
Colorado Rockies. Everybody knows it.
No, America's team, without a shadow of a doubt, in baseball
Is
the Miami Marlins. Let's just
Yeah, there you go.
call the
There you
spade
go.
a spade. That's what it is.
I have it on good authority, Sam, that if in fact Juan Soto shows up at Dave's front doorstep and says, "Will you buy me dinner?" Dave would take it as an honor and buy him dinner. I have it on.
No, you heard that wrong. I have a lawyer on retainer because when I see Juan Soto, it's smash on sight. I'm going to jail that day. Him and John Stockton, those two guys.
Bill, what about in the leagues this week?
In the leagues this week, I'm doing Monday. Tuesday is Steven Luker, one of our brand ambassadors. Wednesday, we're going to play Would You Rather with another one of our brand ambassadors, Jim McGuire. Thursday, we have AJ from Bleacher Brothers on, who grew up a Yankee fan, became a Phillies fan for some personal reasons, but has kind of been disenchanted a little bit with the Phillies. It's kind of going back to the Yankees. And then Mets Meg will be back on Friday. So we got a dynamic group.
Yes, you do.
And pay attention to some things that are going to be coming up. There's going to be a new look and a new feel at TopFanRivalry.com. Pay attention to a lot of the things that will be announced here. I have it on some good authority, as Dave would say, that there's going to be an event at the Sugarland Space Cowboys in the middle of the month. I've heard that happening. I also heard that we might be publishing some of the interviews that I did with the Space Cowboys. So it's going to be a good week and a good month for Top Fan Rivalry.
It is awesome to see the amazing things that Top Fan Rivalry is putting out there, the changes that are coming. Dave, Big Dave, we are so thankful that you were able to join us this morning on ATD. We're excited to have you come back in about a month. We're going to talk closer to the trade deadline about what transactions have come up, what's planning on coming up, what are the biggest team needs. That's going to be a pretty big topic of conversation over the next couple of weeks. So make sure you're staying tuned. Big Dave and Bill, any final words for the fans out there?
It's been an absolute honor to be here with such great company. And Bill, I can't wait to come back and talk more baseball with you guys. All jokes aside, Bill, you know, I love you. Grand Slam, you the man. Anytime I can talk baseball with friends, I mean, it's a good day. So definitely I'll be back. We got to get you on Can of Corn, and then you can even come chop it up with Mikey Bleeds Blue and myself on The Odd Couple, man.
Love it. And you can see those inside the locker room on TopFanRivalry.com. So if you haven't gone and signed up yet, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure you get over to Top Fan Rivalry and type in the code ATD when you're signing up. It will get you 10% off your subscription purchase. as well as 10% off anything in the locker room for sale. Any of the amazing apparel, the baseball cards, all of that stuff. You want to make sure you get there. You use that code. It's all caps. Get it on. Bill, any final words?
No, let's do it. I know Dave's
do it.
final words are gonna be, Dave, what do you always close your shows with?
Well, I mean, it just depends on how mad I am at you on that particular show. But look here, everybody, go follow Grand Sam Slam, follow Top Fan Rivalry, go to the YouTube page, mash the subscribe button. You know what, man? Go outside, rub some sunshine on your face, watch some baseball this weekend, and everybody have a good time.
Yes.
All right. We'll see you
From
next
all of
week.
us to all of you, we will see you on the field next week. Have a good day.
Same bad time, same bad.